First thing you want to do, you have a choice. You can ban Tom, Kench, or Jax. Either or is a prio ban, which means you need to ban them every time. Probably Tom. It's a little easier to fuck up against. Jax, you can still win regardless. What we're going to play this matchup is... Well, let's see what our matchup is, and then we'll talk about runes, okay? But yeah, basically, I'm going to go in detail. I'm going to try to commentate the whole match, start to finish. I'm going to do a bunch of these on the Smurf account. The reason I'm doing it on LAN is because I kind of want to see what happens if you transfer. I'm going to rank up an account on LAN and then transfer over. Still have the high elo masters account, and we should be able to make challenger with it. I think at the rate that I'm climbing, should be at least able to make grandmaster. I'm going to aim for challenger by the end of season. People stop flaming me and saying that I'm bad. Okay, we get the Jax matchup. Perfect matchup, actually. This is a good matchup to start the session with. I'm going to show you what I've been doing as I've been climbing more and more. I'm going to show you my build and strategy. So the runes that we are going are basically, this is an old school Tryn build that's been around for a while. Essentially what this is a grasp build. The reason we do this is because we're facing Jax and or Trundle. It's a build designed to win lane early. You can actually... This game, you can actually take it a step further if you'd like and go instead of flash ghost, you can actually go ghost ignite. Personally, I prefer ghost. I prefer flash ghost because you scale pretty well with that, and you don't have a ton of mobility when you're running this build. Like grasp, you don't have the crazy what's the word that I'm looking for? You don't have the crazy stickiness like you do with something like lethal tempo. Where it seems like you get more move speed a little bit, and you get faster spins because your attack speed's higher, etc. So we'll be covering everything, you know. Oh, so it's not Jax, it's actually Trundle. That's fine. Either's cool. And honestly, if I had to choose, Grasp would be a perfectly acceptable option into Trundle as well. Trundle does a lot of damage early. He's a pretty good duelist. And any lane where you're going to be scrapping and brawling, Grasp is a perfectly acceptable option and something that I've been running in high elo. Now, I know there's a lot of high elo guys that do lethal tempo every single time. Rangers comes to mind. But I think that there is a time and a place. I also think if you try to run lethal tempo into some matchups, you're borderline trolling, because if the laner is good, if your opponent is good, playing something like Jax, then you're not gonna be able to get away with that. He's gonna beat you doing that. You cannot get through a good Jax matchup or any matchup where someone has to trade aggressively into you. You just feel really weak and you feel like you're on the back foot, which I don't like. It makes it so that you have to rely on your jungle to gank for you, and that's just not a good proposition in solo queue. So that's why I decided to take the grasp. I've already tweaked everything on this account, so we should be good to go. Should be able to just jump right into it. And we should be able to cover everything you need to know. I can never tell which side I'm on anymore. I can't ever tell if I'm on blue side or red side in the loading screen. Do you guys know? Chat? Because I legitimately don't know. Yeah, he goes, Grey Boy's Ranger, and he is, yeah, he's good. He's very good at Tryn. I just don't know if I agree with lethal tempo every single time. Just because I just don't. I'm sure you could argue for scaling every time, but there comes a time where you're gonna have to match top laners, like. And if you're trying to, if you're trying to greed every single lane, then you can get in trouble. Then, you know, you could also make the argument where if you don't like a matchup, you could just dodge it. Some people would say that, you know, anytime that there's a Jax, you can get out of the way happily and just dodge, because he'll like sometimes he'll just outscale you, and it really sucks. But I don't think most Jaxes know what they're doing in macro anyways. The def scenario for Tryn when you're facing Jax is basically he knows to not feed, and then he builds Triforce and Spear Shojin, and then pushes around side lanes, and you can't fight him, and he'll 1v9 you and your team. So that's why I'm not in love with that matchup late game anyways. So that's why sometimes I ban Jax and sometimes I ban Tom. I ban Tom, but I think low elo guys should be banning Tom more than Jax, but Jax is a perfectly acceptable option. As a good rule of thumb, if you want to talk about like when to ban in order, like pick order. You can also ban Tom when you're first pick and then Jax when you're last pick. And then that way, if Tom shows up, you can counter pick or dodge. So, first thing you want to do is you always want to guard your jungler's camps, or just give him information. Make sure nothing weird's happening. Another option is, you see right there, we auto spin, we auto E. The reason why is we don't want to take an extended trade, just a short trade. We're not going to go back and fuck with him. I know I have a tendency sometimes when I'm doing, see, this is why. I have a tendency when I'm doing alt accounts to like fuck around and battle people early. But really, if you're going maximum win rate, you don't want to leave the game to chance early. So my team's invading blue. I'm actually going to fuck with red, but I don't intend to all in at red, okay? I only intend to, because you see, they can't be anywhere but red or blue. So I'm just going to do like a trade and back away is my plan here. Okay, so they actually did start our blue, so this is very weird. So I'm actually going to ward to be safe, because the only place that they can be, unless it's like a weird remake. Yeah, see, I'm warding right away because I don't want to get ganked. We're going to auto spin and hit all the minions. We do this constantly in lane. We always try to sneak autos in. Difference between a good top and a bad top is good top always tries to find an excuse to auto. See, when he goes to this minion, you auto. You don't give him a free minion. Every time. You always fight for auto attacks. These little auto attacks are what change the game. See how he's not autoing me back and he's not trading when I auto? Because I auto spin. I'm winning the lane just off of that. Now I'm level 2. Okay, Jax is here. I'm going to ghost preemptively. He's going to E. All we have to do, oh, he canceled my spin with the pillar, which was really good. We're just going to walk that out and then we're going to turn back in. Jax is super weak and we're running grasp. He's only level 2, so I feel really good about this fight. And here, Trundle's free because, you know, this is low elo. It's really important that you understand, like, opportunities when they show up. So some players, like when I watch their gameplay, what they like to do is they'll see that Jax coming and they'll immediately just give up. As soon as they see it, they just run all the way back to the tower. And when you think about it, if he's showing up with just a blue buff, think about what Jax's items are. You have full fury. Jax's items were just a machete or whatever. If he trades on our minions, notice the wave is pushing in. We're going to trade really aggressively on our minions. We're not going to back down from a trade when we have minions pushing. With the grass build, you also go demolish in the tree so that you can pressure the tower early. You don't really want to play for super late. Use the minions. You don't even have to auto him under tower here. You can literally just use the minions. Look. He will auto you because he's just freaking out. And once he goes away, we can auto spin. Like that. And we back away. Notice Jax. He's all the way up here with us again. I don't know why. I don't care. I'm just going to path away from him. Auto and back up the whole way. He doesn't have a spin, remember. He's flashed away. Now we will just walk this out. It's 2v1. Mid could also roam from mid. So we're going to assume that's what's happening because mid tower is shoved in. You see this? That means that we should back down. We're playing optimal strategy. So like here, we've already drawn map pressure. We've already drawn ganks twice. This is low elo, so it's not like our teammates necessarily do a bunch off of that. But it's the fact that we're drawing pressure and getting out. That's what's key. So, since the wave is big and pushing to us, I'm going to thin it and try to play for level 5 and ingress at level 5, spamming Q every time it's off cooldown and my Fury's up. The logic here is we can't really win a trade in his minions. So we don't want to fight in his minions. We want to thin the wave quickly. Notice how he's fucking up because he's not trading with us. He's not trying to bully us off while he has an advantage. I don't want to trade in this many minions. I haven't backed yet. So now that I'm level 5, I can proceed to zone. Jax is still up here, so that's very interesting. That means now our zone is, well, actually our zone is even better. He's still hanging out up here top side. Means that also Jax got scuttled to be level 4. And now we can proceed to zone. We can make this game essentially a 4v5. Zoning is really good when your teammates are winning other lanes or breaking even. That's when you want to zone in solo queue. We stay in on this because we're level 5 here, and we win this every time. Now we shove. Jax is mid, so we're safe. Also, Trundle does not have a teleport. Spin through all the minions. Spin through all the minions, and I think I'm safe to get a plate. I could actually just flat dive Trundle when he gets back, but it just seems like a waste of value considering that I have like, what, 2.2k gold behind or whatever the hell it is. So I think I'll just take a plate. Just one Demolish proc and then a spin back is enough. Should be plenty. Now you can decide how to build. You see Talon's coming from me? He's only level 5. I kind of want him to fuck with me. Okay. If he wants to fight, like, we're on board with this. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead. There's 3 of them, though. So we're going to back up. We're ghosting early so Jax doesn't get the... I can fight here. I can 100% fight here. He doesn't have E, remember. Now we're going to go back down towards the Heimerdinger and towards the Yi. We're going to walk all the way down and we're going to use the plant. We'll push him away and then we'll meet here. We'll ping Heimerdinger to help. And then we'll turn here with ult. Talon will follow. He'll chase in. We can W and re-engage. Trundle kills this guy, but I don't think I have to ult. This is pretty free. We keep that. And we have to go back to top. Notice the wave. I don't want to miss all that CS, okay? I don't want to miss all that CS. There's too much CS there. If I back and try to run back to top, by the time I get to top, this will all be under tower, so we can't just base yet. I want to, but it's just not good for me, for my CS, for my XP lead. And for the record, I'm not actually trying to greed and not back. It's just these guys are giving me opportunities and I'm just reacting to them. So we'll shove this in. Just gonna get this under. Couldn't get both of that because my attack speed is really slow. We'll back. I could greed for one. Oh, wait, no, that's Jax, not Trundle. I could greed for one more plate, but I really want to get gold onto the actual map. We are going to go with, considering we're so ahead, I'm actually... Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Tiamat and then just build normal, like I normally would. Sometimes I go like Black Cleaver or whatever, and build like tankier if the lane is closer. So like, let's say I'm facing a Jax, and I mean, these are newbie games, right? But I still think there's a lot of stuff you can learn from these. Like say that Trundle and Jax are better, or the fights are closer, or whatever the fuck, then I would probably go, I'd probably go Tabbies and then Tiamat, and then I'd have a little bit lower attack speed, but I'd be really hard to battle. So at this point, I can't freeze anymore. I mean, you can kind of like half freeze with Tiamat, but it's not ideal. When you're running the grasp build, you really want to knock down towers. What I'm going to do here is pressure the tower. I know Jax can rotate up, but I really don't care right now. Not right now, I don't. So I'm going to back down. Talon and Jax could be coming up here. They could be trying to shut me down. Yep. They've proven that they want to gank me already. So he flashes, and then that means that Talon's probably here as well. So I'm just going to spin all the way out. And then, again, bait them into staying again. And we're just going to float around them. If they want to do this 3-man stuff, that's fine with us. I have my spin ready. Make sure to ult here just to be safe. I do have Q, remember? And then turn back around and then give Yi the triple. My cursor capture is off? Okay, hold up. I can fix that. Give me a second. So you have some options. Is the cursor back? It should be. So we're going to take one more plate. I don't have ult, so I'm not going to proxy. Did you go in one more time only since you was going to counter gank? No, I pretty much was going to fuck with them there regardless because I had Ghost and ult. I was going to fuck with them. My plan isn't, by the way, is not... People see me like go in for fights. My plan isn't always to die. My plan most of the time is to poke and see if they fuck up and I can kill them. That's what I mean when it's about finding opportunities. That's an auto Tiamat E that we just did. We spin away. That's how you trade under tower when you have Tiamat. So you build up Fury, like so. Keep your Tiamat. And then when you get under tower, you harass him with Tiamat there. But then once you get under tower, you go auto E Tiamat, okay? And he ulted us, so he can just walk away. And you just keep doing that to pressure. Once you get a lead, this is how you pressure them. Rivens do the same thing with their EW combo. What? My game was like glitching there. Uh-oh. That was weird. I can't tell if I'm getting lag or what. So same plan as before. Auto Tiamat E. See that? So now he's leaving. So we can do this if we want. So you always want to check the map. All right, team's doing okay. So there's no rush to take towers or anything. But obviously that tower is so low that we might as well. So Trundle stays with no health. So that's pretty bad. Because that basically means he's going to lose 2 towers instead of 1. And we just force him from, like, staying at tower. And then he's going to try to back again. We walk forward. See? And then we walk back. We don't have to do any E-flash or anything crazy. We don't care. He's not strong at all. He's not worth killing. Alright, Talon. You don't kill me. So we're just trying to keep our ult to the last second. We still have auto Tiamat E. He's chasing all the way in, which makes me think Jax is coming. Wow, you're crazy. If he wants to chase in, then we'll just kill him. Trundle's back. So is Jax. He's really doing no damage. I will have to probably turn on this. And then we're going to spin out at the last second. I'm going to flash to be safe. Yep. Because he has flash back. And then we can wait a second and we can turn on him. We're using the minions here. Use as many minions as we can. And then W and re-engage. I still have my spin just to see his damage. Yeah, we win. So I was keeping my spin just in case that for some, you know, I wasn't entirely sure about his damage, but I wasn't going to spin onto him to death. I was just going to auto him and then spin in or spin away depending on how the fight looked. So if it's like a close fight, then you spin backwards. If it's a fight you win, then you can spin forward. We'll get this, we'll get this, we'll get this. This is like the lethal tempo build, but since we're so far ahead, it's fine. So now, we have some options. We can just go to bottom, but we have 30 seconds until our ult's up, right? So some people will just like run around the map now and then like throw their lead. I see Tryndameres do that all the time. So instead what I'm thinking is I'm just going to go ahead and farm this rift. We'll farm this rift while our ult's still coming off a cooldown. Because what's our objective? Our objective is to win the game. Sure, we could go around and kill 30 people for YouTube or whatever. These are all newbies, and then jerk ourselves off and pretend that we're good. But really, the goal is to win the game. So what we're going to do is we are going to push top all the way in. Because we lose this. That's the other thing. Once you start winning this hard, you actually start losing XP. Because the minions will just perma-shove, and you won't get any XP anymore. So we'll take camps, we'll shove in. Go this way, take red, since nobody's farmed it. I have no problem with that. Quick farm. We'll take this. Okay, Yi killed Jax. I don't know where their mid is. I'm gonna go like this. Throw this here. Help Primer Digger get stuff done. We're not using our Demolish stack on that. The music in my ear is annoying me. Yeah. Still a little too loud, I think. So auto E spin, or I'm sorry, auto Tiamat spin, just for pressure. We don't have to dive. Like once you get this far ahead, like if you're worried about winning and climbing, it's got to be about keeping, keeping control of your lead. And always just auto Tiamat E when you're harassing under tower. Same thing here. Yeah, you guys couldn't hear the music, but I could. It's just like in-game music. So Jack's gonna E to me again. Always just spin through his E. Same thing as before. All this CS is going away if we don't grab it. Like we lose it all. So try to just at least grab the XP. Like grab what you can. Because like I said, because you're winning, top will literally, like, you'll just be leaking XP. Randomly, if you don't grab it. There's a Braum here. He's got CC. We'll just take a Demolish and just back away like this. Juke his Q. Keep running. He'll follow again. That's the one thing about newbies is they don't know when to back down from a fight. They'll chase you a lot longer than people should chase. They're basically like AI. So since this champion's here, we'll just fuck with them a bit. Back up again. Same thing as before. Draw the aggro, back away, make sure you're not getting flanked. There's 5 top right now. This must be like fucking iron. Right? Question mark? This is something. He leads with his stun and jumps. That means we slow him and then re-engage. I hope to God this is ranked, not a norms game. Because it feels so bad that it might be, but who knows. Just keep juking his Qs if he wants to trade. And notice if these guys keep getting out of line, you just W them and be like, no, I'm gonna stat check you. It's exactly like watching a bot game. Dude. This guy has no E. Again, E. Look at this. He might die to minions. Poor guy. And we'll just put them out of their misery because I normally go for the minions first because it's a little bit more reliable and safer. Because like if you start smacking on the base and then everyone collapses in, you can't fight back and you can't move because the minions block you. Look at him go, dude. Is this a bot game? I hope it was ranked. Yeah, that's the general idea. That's the general idea of Grasp. Basically, if you brawl, like if you want to brawl more, that's why you take Grasp. The other thing is, before people go on and on about it being a low elo game, just keep in mind, oh god, it is iron. Wait, were they all iron? Hold on. I've actually never played in an iron game. That would be a first for me. Hold on. Hold on. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're... Just because you're placed in iron does not necessarily mean that they were all... But they did play like it. Hold on. Oh, this is going to be an entertaining climb, isn't it? No, they were bronze. Most of them were bronze, like legit. See, I stand fucking convinced that iron players aren't real. There's one there. Estoy Bien. What was his name? Estoy Bien Meko, dude. I've actually never seen that. All right, we might have, well, let me finish my thought. So basically, Grasp, we're going to do anytime that we have a matchup where champions brawl, okay? So Trundle's a good example. Jax is a good example. Wukong's a good example. Any champion that actively is looking to fuck with you, Grasp all the way. Another decent option is Aurelia. Fiora's another one too, if you want. Like, you can still go lethal tempo and play that out. But lately in higher elo, I've been going Grasp because I feel like my goal is to win lane, and that will make me win lane harder. Darius, I'm not sure yet, because Darius, like, okay, so let's view it like this in my eyes. I view Grasp when you need to be aggro. I'm using Jax and Trundle as examples. You could argue that you could go lethal tempo into Trundle, because versus Trundle, you could say, well, I outscale him, right? So if I go lethal tempo and I get my items, he can't fight me, which I believe is true. I don't think he can. I don't think even if he builds tank, he can ever beat you. Same with Darius. Darius is annoying in lane, yes, but technically once you get items, Darius can't fight you anymore. You can just all in him. The other thing that you can consider is with Jax, I'm going Grasp because Jax will beat us. Eventually, Jax will beat us. Nasus is another one where Grasp is a great option. And in fact, with Nasus, I actually go Ghost Ignite versus Nasus. Basically, I'm starting to view it as, do I outscale them? If yes, then we go lethal tempo. Do they outscale me, or is their job easier than mine mid to late? If yes, then Grasp. Are they a poke lane where I outscale them? We'll do fleet footwork for that. So you basically have three options. You can decide which one makes the most sense to you. Technically, I've beaten a bunch of Jaxes on the way to Masters with lethal tempo. Do I think that that's the most optimal way? No, especially because I've seen the Jaxes catch back up and then I've gotten beaten up.